Good morning, party people. Back again with another stream. Today we're gonna get to mess around with some Final Fantasy X. Clock in another 3 hours, and I think it'll be pretty soon before it's over. Hello, Pyro. Good morning. How do you like that big green sword now that you're a mod? I will revoke those powers of yours should you abuse them, though I don't even think that there will be very many victims for you for a long time. I've never really had a moderation team before, though I have thought about making a Discord at some point, and then inevitably you have to deal with a moderation team of some kind. And it feels like that relationship that you must have with the moderation team is probably an odd one, because they're kind of giving you free labor. I think in most cases you're not getting paid. I feel like the god I always thought I was. You know, yeah, it's probably not a great idea to be feeding into your god complex. But so Final Fantasy X, let's go over there, huh? Hello, hello. Good morning. As you can see, Final Fantasy X gets pretty upset when you don't have it selected as the main window. So let's select it. Let's see. Is chat refreshing? Early notification team. Hello, NRC. Chat's not working. What's up with that? Give me a tick while I try to sort that out. The refresh rate is correct. Is it because I didn't save? I did make some changes to the... Oh, there we go. Someone summon Wormy. I have to imagine that they're busy, but maybe they'll show up. Let's see here. I'm pretty satisfied with where the chat is at. Hopefully that won't be too interruptive for the gameplay visuals, but yes, last we left off, we played maybe 5 minutes where I spent most of the time talking about Tidus and Yuna making out, and then Pyro showed up, so we didn't keep playing. Okay, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna protect your ear balls. 1 sec. Never mind. No sneeze. There are some people that keep track of the amount of times that their favorite VTubers sneeze. I'm not sure exactly why, but VTuber fans, they'll do just about anything. But yes, some more Final Fantasy X, and I feel like I have enjoyed this game quite a bit, but it is starting to get to the point where I'm ready for it to be done. Mostly because I'd like to move on to another game, and because the Final Fantasy set already came out for Magic, so it's like, I don't know. I think it's time to shelve this thing once we're done. And then we can move on to some bigger and better things. Although maybe not better, just different. I'm also very curious to see what the game actually sort of ends like, because... Oh, is this like a pierce resistant one? No, it's just nimble. Okay. Yes, so I'm like pretty sure that Tidus isn't living this, because there's a second game in the series called like Final Fantasy X-2. And he is not on the promotional material at all. So I get the sense he's not living this one, especially since it seems like sacrifice is like a theme. Low-key Lulu is giving me vibes. Possible cosplay idea? Yeah. She's got a pretty rad outfit too. Let's swap to her. So it's like one big dress. It has a ton of belts on the front. That part's going to be a lot of fun for you to sort out. And then it's really just a big dress and doing your hair up like she does, which it's sort of surprising, but she's got cornrows, I think, on the back of her hair. Bit of a Morticia Addams mood. Yeah, she's I hesitate to say goth mommy, but that's definitely what other people might call her. I think she's very fun. Um, every single time that she speaks, she just seems very calculated about things. Like she's thought it through. And I think that she still has some more secrets to impart because I'm convinced that she does not. Yeah, she is. That's why we love her, though. I am convinced, yes, that she is. She's got like secrets or something. I don't think she's like everybody else in this team. But I mean, the whole team, I guess, has secrets. There's not much of a reason to attack this guy without it being Lulu, but I really want to cosplay Oron. I think he's got a rad outfit. I love how he puts his left arm in the sleeve. I remember growing up, I would do that when I was just a little angel. I'd like wear a hoodie or something and put my elbow up because I thought it was cool. It looked like I was injured or something. Um, well, let's see here. Is this getting cut off or? I feel like she would lay us on her laps and then tell her the most tragic storyline. Yeah, she does seem like she would tell us something really messed up and sad. Or tell us like poetry. And her voice is so nice too. She's really quiet and quite demure. She's very mindful. um I just get the sense she's just very reserved. Let's see. Some more water up. Yes, I'm actually going to be going to a convention at the end of the week here. I will be doing some cosplay. Um, I'm thinking of doing. I'm thinking of doing. I'm not like really doing anything new. I'm just gonna use a set of old cosplays. I'm going for 2 days. Yeah. And I have a Gargura cosplay because, as my little mouse might indicate, she's one of my favorites. Um, and I will be going with some friends. Uh, we do not really have like a cosplay planned together, so we're kind of all doing our own thing. Um, but I heard that in the mix there is somebody who might do Echo from Arcane. There is not Lucina, but a different Fire Emblem character. A friend of mine, she made like some really impressive foam armor and weaponry for that cosplay. And I will be doing Gargura probably the first day, and I might either do Gargura both days or I'll do Howl from Howl's Moving Castle. Gargura. Right. You know. So let me go find something for you. Uh, one sec. I will happily diverge a stream in order to talk about my favorite VTuber. Uh, God rest her soul. Oopa. And then we'll go ahead and add a source. Where are you? I don't know how streamers seem to do it so quickly. Look at her. There she is. Gargura. That's here. Nah, you shouldn't apologize. I love talking about Gura. It's pronounced, or I guess it's spelled Gargura. Um, the Rican baby. Yeah, she's like a shark girl. And she was probably the most popular VTuber ever for a while there. As if I don't hear enough about her already. Wow. It's my stream, and we get to talk about my favorite Blorbos, and Gargura is one of my favorites. So she was I guess VTuber lore. So VTubers have been around for a very long time, probably 8 or 9 years or more. Yeah, I've got a couple of figurines of her. So they've been around for 8 or 9 years or so, but they really exploded right like during the pandemic. In the middle of 2020, they were exploding because a lot of people were consuming more content, of course. And the biggest sort of company of for VTubers is Hololive. They're based out of Japan, and this did VTubers kind of started as a Japanese thing. It's a way to kind of enhance the streaming and also open it to people that don't really want to show their face or don't want to uh, kind of involve their personal lives as much. And so Hololive was the biggest, and they're actually a tech company. They have a proprietary set of like 3D model and 2D model programs, and so it's sort of like Vocaloid where the product is not even as popular as their characters are. But so during the pandemic, they kind of capitalized on the boom and they released their first English wave in September. And Gura was one of the first five, and I thought she was the funniest. She when I saw her, she reminded me of how much I like sharks, and she's also very goofy and very um, I don't know. She's just very silly. She's you watch a stream with her, and it feels like she's your little sister or something. So she's like my favorite design, and I do like a cosplay, like a gender bend of her. And as you can see too, she's got the white hair like I like almost on all of my favorite characters. Um, but so that was the Gargura aside, I suppose. We'll put that away. Um, so I will be cosplaying her, and I will be cosplaying maybe Howl from Howl's Moving Castle. I guess I'll show him off too. Um, Howl's Moving Castle is my favorite Studio Ghibli movie, mostly because I think it's a very sweet love story. And it's a sweet love story that it feels like both people learn from, and it's got gorgeous music. Now I wonder, how does a guy look in a cosplay of her? Well, I kind of do a gender bend of her, so the hoodie isn't as long on me as it is on her, and I wear shorts. I also shave myself, so I look very young. um, and my hair is a little shorter, and I style it in a different way. But I do put on a wig. Let me see if I can find like a full body picture of Howl. All of these are close-ups. This is what he looks like. Howl is a wizard. Howl is a wizard that sort of made a deal with a creature. I guess this is kind of spoilers for Howl's Moving Castle, actually. But Howl's a wizard, and he's kind of a vain wizard. Yeah, Howl is Howl's a pretty boy. Howl is a anime pretty boy if ever there was one. Let's see here. And now we'll add Howl right here, real quick. Let's see here. Oh, where did I put you, Howl? Whoops. A vain wizard. That's what I call my doctor. He does make me feel stuff. You should see him on. You should see him in the actual movie too if you haven't already seen it, because his voice actor is Christopher Nolan. No, Christian Bale, the guy who did Batman in the Christopher Nolan movies, and he knocks it out of the park. Look at him. Yes, so for my cosplay of him, I wear I've got like a fancy little pirate outfit. I've got a necklace, the nice dress pants, and then I've also got the great big quilted coat that he wears. I don't do a wig for him because my hair is long and black, so I kind of look like I've got his hair from when it's black in the movie towards the end. And people, the iconic thing is the jacket. So everybody knows once you see the jacket, you know who you're talking about. And he also wears his jacket so funny. He doesn't put his sleeves, or he doesn't put his arms through the sleeves, kind of like Oron, which I think is so cool. um, I actually, so Hal is a sort of controversial character because he is vain. He's self-centered at the beginning of the movie, but there's an explanation for it, and that's the journey he has to go on. That's his arc, is getting over being a vain kind of guy. And people take issue with that, though. Like, there's a lot of people who watch the movie and their opinions of him are very low, even though he kind of turns it around. And so one time I went to a fair, like a Renaissance festival. Everybody's pretending like it's high fantasy, and people dress up for it. And so I dressed up as Howl because I thought, it's still a wizard. Like, I'll fit in just fine, and I think I did. And this person who was decked out in like a tiefling cosplay, like their skin was like purple blue, they had horns and a tail. It was a cool outfit. But they come up to me while I'm like enjoying something fried. It must have been like a donut or something that I had gotten. They come up to me and they say, Howl, I think you're the worst person on the planet. I just wanted to let you know that. And then they walk away. And it was like, dude, what? What am I supposed to do with that? Yeah. Like I said, he's like a controversial character, I guess. But it was one of those things where it's like, hello? I'm I'm just a regular old angel under here. Like, that's rude. um, but so I mean, I think they were just trying to play along in the way that made sense to them. But Hal's a jerk at the beginning, but he turns it around. He's a nice guy by the end. But yes, so I may be cosplaying him, I might not, just because I do have to drive to get to where we are doing this. I keep forgetting that water is the opposite of thunder in this game and not blizzard. Um, Reverse flirting for 300. Yeah, that's sort of what it felt like. Because like flirting, right? You're just like trying to be subtle to get somebody to think that they like you. Well, this person was incredibly blatant in order to get me to dislike them, I think. um, but so yes, I don't know. I'd have to pack a lot of stuff to bring the Howl cosplay over. Um, and normally I like to do conventions for 2 days. The first day I will try to take it kind of chill. But I guess it doesn't really matter the order. Normally I have one day where I'm not in a cosplay, I'm chill. I'm just kind of wearing nerd gear and I try to take pictures of other people. And then I have another day where I will be in cosplay and I'm like trying to do it all. So I will be doing it Saturday and Friday, and we'll see how I split things up. Oh, we call it horse courtship here. That's cool that y'all have a name for it. I don't know. I think in the anime and VTuber sphere, you call it being a tsundere. It's not like I really like you or anything. That sort of thing. Um, I'm not sure if there's a word for it in Spanish or a phrase for it in Spanish. But that's also because I have found that um, different cultures have different approaches to how romance should work. And there are some cultures where it's like you're supposed to be kind of fighting each other. It should be a war. And whoever loses is whoever says I love you first. It's like a teenage boy being rude to a girl, but he secretly loves her so. Teachers always laugh at kids and say that's just horse courtship phase. That's funny. I like it. So it's like, is it maybe because, like, I'm trying to think of where the horse kind of comes in. Is it because horses are just kind of brusque? Like there's, like you're kind of acting like a horse by being so hard headed. Cue Love is a Battlefield. Oh, who is that? Love is a Battlefield. Eurythmics? Who did Love is a Battlefield? Now I'm gonna get on another tangent here. I like that song though. Very 80s. Pat Benatar. Not Eurythmics. Eurythmics was something else. I grew up on a lot of random 80s music too. Though my pops and my mom listens to a ton of other stuff. So I've mostly listened. I found out about like English 80s music. I guess 80s music in English from the radio mostly. That's a good one though. But that's basically the vibe, I think, for some cultures. And that might be the strategy that these horse courtmen, these horse quarters. It's a good way to put it. Oh, I need Waka. I have a list of small goals for this this convention, as usual. Um, my list of goals include finding merchandise of Gargura, because so I guess here's a bummer for you. Gargura did graduate. And for VTubers, when you call it quits or you're done with the character, it's called graduation, and it is actually a big, sort of a big step in a VTuber's life cycle, because at least from a company's perspective, VTubers tend to make the most amount of money right when they debut and right when they end. So Hololive especially kind of tries to take advantage of that, and really hypes it up in the month or so before graduation. So Gura graduated in April, so she's kind of done. She's no longer Gura, which means that this year, or like right now, is probably the best chance you'll ever get of finding Gura merch, like, you know, be it official merch or a bunch of artists doing stuff, and that's my favorite kind of thing to buy at a con is like fan artists making stickers or pins or whatever. So right now is the best opportunity to, and that's my first goal, is to see if I can't find some Gura merch. My other goal is to go to a panel. There's a panel that a VTuber is hosting about becoming a VTuber. And I mean, mission successful, right? Like, I'm, hello, I'm a VTuber, you know? So it's like not a big surprise, but I would like to see somebody else's opinion about it. And I'm still a beginner, I would say. So they might have some good advice. And I'm interested to see like what a panel looks like from a VTuber like that. What is flirting and courtship called in angel culture? That's a good question. What is it called in angel culture when we flirt? I think mostly we call it flirting. Sometimes we do have wings, so sometimes we use like bird puns. Um, like, uh, some folks will do elaborate mating dances, you know, peacocking, that sort of thing. um, I wouldn't know though. I haven't been all that successful. What's it called in lizard culture when you court people? And are you like a lizard person? Like, I guess I call you a lizard person, but you're like a dragonborn, right? Feather play. That's what you. If the angel courtship goes well, then you get to the feather play, but that's behind closed doors. So yes, I want to see that. And then the other goal, which I will see if I can manage to get it. Um, I want to see these idols. There are a couple of idols that are coming to this convention. Um, they've been doing it for like a decade, which is nuts. I think in actual Japanese idol culture, that's really, really unlikely for you to do it for so long. But I want to see them because they seem adorable and funny, and I've never really seen idol stuff in person. So they're doing a handful of panels. They're doing a couple of shows. I'm hoping to catch them one of the days. In Dragon World, it would be scale flashing or tail weaving. Wow, you're good at this. Tail weaving, I really like. Scale flashing too. Tasting the air. Is that what it's called for for dragons? Tasting the air. That sounds like some sort of extreme sport thing. Like you're doing flips on a skateboard or something. Yeah, gnarly, brother. I was tasting the air. For lizards, at least, it's called tasting the air. Whoa. Look at this guy. What is your name? Marlboro. Isn't that isn't that a type of cigarette? And Ursi found the ancient texts for dragons. Oh, I fought one of these before. It's got like a poison breath attack. These guys are a pain in the neck. I think I'm going to use my overdrives so that we can kill it easily. Die. Oh, yes. I don't know if you've seen the Final Fantasy streams before. I don't think you have, Pyro, but this orange-haired guy, that's voiced by John DiMaggio. You know, Jake the dog and Bender. Slice and dice. Oh, no. We're good. We got there. What else do I want to do on this con? I would like to take pictures of people. I want to bring my DSLR. I want to see if there are cool cosplays to take pictures of. Waka's cool, a bit empty. I am empty-headed, but it's okay. We just need muscles. Yeah, he's like the lovable grunt. Maybe not a grunt. He's like the lovable muscle head. I think this game does a pretty decent job of having a very diverse set of teammates. They're all very unique, I would say. Himbo? Yeah, he's kind of a himbo. I hesitate to call him a himbo because it feels like Tidus earns that title more than anybody in this game. But they also kind of do like a single brain cell to single brain cell connection a lot in this game. They're like bros, you know? Let's do dark attack, I guess. Yes, himbo. And then I think Auron is a lot like Wormy, where Auron is sort of like, I'm really cool and laid back, and I know a lot, and I'm sarcastic. um, there we go. We got there. Okay. Oh, what? It's out of the park, folks. Like, okay, so that was only the second time I've ever seen him do Shooting Star, and the last time his attack actually killed the enemy. So we didn't see like a fancy animation, but apparently, if he lands it and they survive, they're just gone. He just kicks them out of the combat. That's quite fitting. That actually explains a lot about why his card does what it does in Commander, or I guess in Magic. I mean, it does a similar thing where it kind of you choose a creature and he just puts it away. You're gone now. Leave my realm. It just looked so silly. I wonder if you can use it on bosses. Yes, so the con. It's also my first time going to this con in particular, which is in a town I've spent a lot of my life in. That's going to be interesting too. I should be like sort of a medium-sized con. But bigger than the con I already went to this year. So that should be fun. I think that's kind of everything I've got to say about the matter, though. I do hope I find some Gargura merch, or maybe even somebody else cosplaying as Gura. The cosplay does also come with a, whatchamacallit? Oh, like a shark tail, but I haven't worn it. It feels like it's kind of too much work. And she has a trident. I do have a bunch of stuff in my room to make her trident out of PVC and foam. and spray paint, but I haven't really gotten to it yet. I would think it would probably take me like 10 hours, and I probably might have the amount of time to do it for the rest of the week, but I haven't mentally committed to doing that yet. This guy again. My team is starting to get tired. I'm gonna summon Bahamut. You deal with it, big. Oh, maybe Shiva instead. Big dragon. The other thing I guess I'm looking forward to about the con in general is just spending a lot of time walking, because I've been I've been at it for like a month and a half now of just walking like 5 miles a day, and walking around my neighborhood is fun and all, but a con is maybe the most interesting place to walk around because you just constantly see people in all sorts of cosplays you're going to recognize, and that's a lot of fun. I might bring my magic cards too. I kind of want to play some of Final Fantasy Commander, and maybe I'll find somebody who wants to play Commander at this con and make a new friend. You know, despite that awesome animation, did it even do any damage? What the heck? It didn't do any damage. Is he like immune to ice type damage or something? Yeah, okay. Well, live and learn, I guess. Uh wow. Goodbye, Shiva. Sorry. You got to be careful about making new friends. How come? I mean, you should probably be wary about strangers in general. But new friends are good. Or they can be. Last time I tried that, I spent the night in jail for grave robbing. What? What? Whose grave were you robbing? What were you trying to find? And also, like, at what point in the grave robbing did you decide this was not a good idea? Like, normally people decide that before they start grave robbing, I would think. I've never been grave robbing, so I wouldn't know. Is that even really a crime anyway? They're not around anymore. They're not using it. Whatever it is. Let's Kira on Titus. Confession time. Yeah, you got to tell us what you mean by that, Pyro. That's quite confusing. Alarming, really. Are you weak to fire at least, maybe? Yes. Okay, that's good. I tried to rob the graves of old dragons to literally make a new friend. You were trying to. Okay, so you should be careful about making new friends in terms of like necromancy. Um, if you've ever read Shelley's Frankenstein, what's her first name? Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I think you would learn that lesson as well. I spent some amount of time in my life studying literature and horror in literature, and that was a fun book to read. Quite an eerie one, and a strange sort of fear. Everything went wrong when the cops showed up. Okay, so you're doing recently enough that there were organized police forces? That, I mean, we need you to be playing more horror games though. Okay. Okay, I was saying I want to finish Final Fantasy X so that we can have something else to get on the schedule. I do have Amnesia. Well, I don't have Amnesia, but I have the game Amnesia. um so we can play that on stream. I that will be that will be worth watching, is what I'll say, because I'm a scaredy cat when it comes to horror games. I'm just a big scaredy cat. Maybe I'll make Pyro or Wormy join me, or maybe both of them will have to join me. Oh, this is really really bad. We're silenced and confused and poisoned. I can't control them at all. Um, this is terrible. And they've also been darkness, so they keep missing their physical attacks, which means that they can't knock themselves out of the sort of madness. Wow, we got lucky. Yes, I think horror games would be pretty fun. You'd get a lot of very natural reactions out of me. Um, sounds like my night in jail. Poisoned, confused, blinded, swinging around. How did they manage to lock you up? Are you just like a nice guy? Like, don't you have fire breath and control over the elements? I wouldn't even dare to try to lock you up, I think. They silenced me. These are like magical police officers you were dealing with. Was this on a different planet or a different plane, perhaps? Because in my experience, most of the law enforcement officers on this planet called Earth don't really have silence abilities in that sense. You were on Ravnica. Okay. That's great. How was that? How was Ravnica? Did you say hi to Jace for me? He might not have even been there, come to think of it. He's not there all that often. What were you trying to... Okay, again, you were just grave robbing to try to make a friend? I'm not even sure if grave robbing is illegal on Ravnica. Perhaps the Azorius were just having their way with you. Is he only damaged by piercing damage on top of that? Okay, I gotta look this guy up, because I'm willing to bet he has a magic card, because that was so annoying that I bet I'm not the only one that's had an annoying interaction with them. Yep, sure enough. Malboro. Bad breath. When this creature enters, each opponent discards a card, loses 2 life, and exiles the top 3 of their library. Wow. Yeah, they made this card pretty annoying too. I befriended this weird dude. He was in charge of the trains, but he was like a wizard. I'm... Did he sound like this? I may know of who you speak. Whoa. A cutscene. Girl talk. Mimicry angel. I'm really part parrot. Whoa. Oh yes, the Pope and all his cardinals have framed us for the murder of a cardinal. Convenient. Nice of this guy to let us know at least that we're gonna get murdered. Oh, astute. Why is he here? Oh, Lulu doesn't normally do that hand signal. She doesn't really seem to believe in this whole religion thing, so that's a surprise. She has red eyes. Wow, the makeup would be a fun deal too, if you do makeup for cosplay. Hmm. I don't exactly remember what you mean, Oran, but okay. And this one's Tara Strong, Pyro. My everyday makeup looks like cosplay. That's why I get side eyes every day. That's cool though to have a high standard for yourself, I suppose. Like, what does it mean to have makeup that looks like cosplay? Like, you put a lot of effort into it, you mean? Or are you doing purple lips and purple eyeshadow and red eye contacts? I forgot that Tara Strong was Raven. I always think of her as Bubbles primarily. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, that's a lore drop. Did he give up or what? Okay. Thanks, Lulu. Wow. Wow. Oh. Mount Gagazet. I go for like a gothic damsel in distress makeup. Long eyeliner, anime lashes, eye bags, blush, 4 lip glosses. You ask me for makeup and I'll do it for you on the spot. That's cool. You seem to be very knowledgeable. I I go to concerts a lot and I like edgy emo music and like pop punk, so I'll do like a messy under the eye eyeliner. Um, but that's all I've got in my sort of makeup repertoire. I don't really do more than that. Oh, you could get back to Blitzball. Xanarkand is the town that Titus is from, except that we're pretty sure that he's from a version of it that was 1,000 years in the past. So it's like destroyed now. Like if he was from New York City, but New York City got blown up. Oh, for real? Like Futurama. Yeah, actually that's quite poignant because I also think that Titus and um what's his name? Fry? They're about the same level of intelligence, I would wager. Oh, let's save. Beep 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 beep. What you got? Any weapons that are better than what I have? Holy no, that's Brotherhood. Brotherhood's like crazy good. Uh, nah, there's a bunch of extra slots on the weapons they have, but I'm not interested. Nope. Items. Maybe it's of oh, holy water. Cures zombie and curse. I've never heard of this, so maybe that'll be important later. Got poison. Let's do that. Um, maybe some more Phoenix Downs. Phoenix Downs. Phoenix Down is such a cool word. I think it just evokes, I don't know, something. Moltres. That's what I picture. Y'all ever play any horror games? Because there's nothing, there's not a bone in my body that makes me want to go play a horror game for myself. Like I would do it to entertain other people, but I wouldn't do it for myself all that much. Coeurl. Huh. Let's have Riku steal their parts. I used to be really into horror escape room mobile apps. For real? But that was another life ago? Yo, what the hell? I've never heard about that. You gotta tell us about that, Pyro. Horror escape room mobile apps? What even is that? Like what's like a name of one? I've never heard of that before. I'm like shook. I don't even know. You know what I used to be into when I was like my main form of entertainment was like an iPod Touch. I was really into like different shooting games that they had. Like there was one where you were like a sniper, like a contract killer. I think it was called Contract Killer. They had like knockoff Halo called Nova. Um, I've just always really liked FPSs, I guess. But you don't remember the name of any of them, huh? That's wild. So did you like the horror? Was it the puzzle of it all? Like the premise is you wake up in a weird space and you have to figure out what happened. Yeah. There is a I had some friends again, similar to you in another life. I had a friends that were super into Silent Hill, and so I would come over to their place and I would watch them play Silent Hill sometimes. So I've seen a lot of Silent Hill: The Room, and it's very similar, where it's like this guy who's trapped in a single room studio apartment kind of deal, and it's sort of a puzzle thing, but it's also sort of him kind of going through like a mental lapse. And every time he left the room, it was like scary. I don't know. You had to escape the room to. You had to escape room your way out. Yeah, it makes sense. The puzzle component was the big appeal. I see. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that would be up your alley. Puzzle rooms. But kind of a surprise. Like the horror element was just something you were kind of dealing with, or like you were like fine with this just to get to the puzzle stuff. Because I wouldn't figure you were much of a horror person based on what I know about you. Maybe water will do more damage? I don't know. But yes, I played a lot of first person shooters, third person shooters. And this is because I like the machine I had could run them, like this little iPod Touch, but my own laptop couldn't run anything better than that. So gotta get the fixing. You're correct. Horror is not my vibe. Yeah. No, I never I like if you asked me to like invite you to a horror movie or something, I'd be like, why? What's wrong? What's going on? Is this a joke? Is it animated or something? um, although I don't know why you would be asking me to invite you to a movie anyway. You'd probably just invite me. How much HP do you have left? Too much. Be gone. Um, yeah, I have like a fascination with horror, but despite that, I don't think I've actually seen very many horror movies. I'm more of like I've seen a handful of thrillers, but not really horror. And then horror games, I literally have only ever downloaded the one because it was like $6. Everybody was on Discord, and people were like, "Wouldn't it be fun to watch you stream this, and I streamed it for like an hour, and I can't believe how spooked I was. I do think that if I did it on stream proper, like here on Twitch, there would be a sort of different element to it where I'd be trying to be more entertaining than I would be if I was doing it alone. But yeah, they're just unnerving. Belgamine. I'm pretty sure this is a prolific voice actress as well. I just realized, I wish somebody would have mentioned. Y'all haven't had any audio from the game, have you?
Yes. So, are you up to the task?
Oh, here you go. An hour in. You're welcome,
But
I guess.
will do my best. You've got spirit, but you'll need more to beat Sin. An Aeon duel. Show me what you're.
Yeah, she's always out here challenging us to Pokemon fights.
Excellent. But before we begin, I've just healed your Aeons for you. Let us begin.
As long as I get to summon Bahamut, I think you lose. Even better, actually. Shiva's got pretty glaring weaknesses to fire. Although, come to think of it, fire is weak to ice. Yeah, the elemental system in this game, Pyro, is very simple. There's only 4 types. There's like thunder, ice, fire, and water. And fire and ice make a matched pair. So fire is super effective against ice, and ice is super effective against fire. And then thunder is super effective against water, and water is super effective against thunder. So it's kind of silly. It means that, like, I'm choosing Ifrit here because he's a fire Aeon, and Shiva is an ice type, but we'll probably just be absolutely walloping each other because we're, opposing types. Like, I don't have, like, a resistance or anything. Let's do fire, I guess. That did barely any damage. Select attributes in the Aeons menu to raise the attributes of your Aeons. Use this to compensate for Aeons' weaknesses by raising the physically weak Shiva's HP or increasing the usually slow Ifrit's agility. Okay, well, I can't really do that now. Demon possessions, horrors, or top tier. Body gore is too crazy for you. Okay. For me, the horror stories I like the most, I really liked Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which is sort of like a science fiction, kind of like a body horror deal. But there was also Beloved. Beloved is really good. That's like a haunted house ghost thing. I also really liked the Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. That one's kind of a poem, but that one's spooky and cool. I don't even know if it makes sense to keep using this guy. He did so little damage. What else have I liked? I don't remember everything I've read. Oh, The Haunting of Hill House. That's also really awesome. It was psychological, so yeah, exactly. I think that was part of it. Like, I put it down, and I don't think anything in particularly, like, all that scary happened in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but the idea, the concept that, like, society is held together by toothpicks and a bunch of facades, if we could all get away with our worst instincts, we probably would. That idea was truly horrific. That's kind of what stuck with me. Haunting of Hill House was just eerie and spooky. Beloved was eerie and spooky, and also felt like it was kind of touching on some, like, pregnancy and motherhood is a big thing in that one, and that's just, it's a delicate topic, I think. One where fear lives very happily, if that makes sense. Um, oh, I read one. I did read a disappointing one once. It was called. I don't want to drag them. That feels rude, but it was called Horror Store, but the spelling was sort of parodying the spelling of a lot of the products from what's it called? From IKEA, or I guess it's pronounced IKEA, right? But it was parodying that because it was basically a horror story set in a massive like warehouse for warehouse display room for furniture and stuff. Like it was parodying IKEA or IKEA, whichever it is. I'll just keep saying IKEA because that's how I say it all the time anyway. So this person is having like the night shift at an IKEA. A bunch of spooky happenings keep going on, and I thought the idea had a lot of legs because there is something genuinely horrific and sort of back rooms about IKEA. Like, I go somewhere like IKEA or even like Kohl's or any of these big superstores with like bright lights, all these fake displays, and just endless lines of products. And I feel something in my soul being sort of sapped, you know? I feel like I'm in the back rooms. I feel like I'm in a liminal space, and it's eerie. And I thought that's what this book might be trying to do, because it kind of sold itself that way. But when you actually read it, it was a horror comedy, and it was kind of funny. That's just capitalism crushing you. Exactly. I mean, there is a sort of quiet horror about capitalism, if you ask me. And I thought that's what it would lean into, but it wasn't really about that. It was about how this IKEA was built on a asylum, and that asylum was built on, I shit you not, a Native American burial ground. So it was like just like Scooby-Doo levels of ghosts, and I could not believe it. I really was so disappointed when I found out that's what they were going for. I was like, you could have done something really like far-reaching here, because I do think you're pulling on something. I think there's something eerie about locations like that, but nope. I read another one that I thought was actually quite good though. Recently, it was
Remarkable talent.
oh gosh, I'll have to look it up. Give me a second.
Take this.
It's worth recommending.
I've earned it.
Ooh, Power Spheres. Horror novel about. It was like a. Oh, Dracula was really good too. I really liked Dracula. How did I forget about Dracula? I think that there's something so, like, sex is a huge thing in Dracula for some reason. Like, they're just talking about penetration all the time, and it really adds an element to it. It's just, like, unsettling. And I kind of get why people think vampires are so hot nowadays. Like, Bram Stoker was coming... Bram Stoker. Freudian slip there, I think. Bram Stoker was coming at it hard from the beginning. You know, actually, I gave Wormy this book, so Wormy probably has it right now. I remember the name of it. It's called The Employees. It's by Olga Raven, and it's a sci-fi novel that follows... It's told to you in a series of journal logs. Like, different people keep logging their experiences aboard this ship, this massive corporate ship that's inhabited by natural humans that were born on Earth, but also these like simulacra people. They're like not quite clones, but they're sort of imitations of humans. And they come across this planet. They keep doing a bunch of exploration for the sake of money, and they come across this planet that has this valley full of like 9 to 12 different objects, and they are just like objects, and they're very they're very unique, and they have like inexplicable effects on your mind. Like they can communicate to you, or some of them might remind you of a beach, or they're just inexplicable. So they bring them on board the ship, and tensions keep rising, and it's just a really good. I mean, it's one of those things that's, because it's told from a bunch of journal perspectives. You're only getting bits and pieces of the story at a time, so you're kind of trying to piece it together. It's called The Employees, or The Employees, by Olga Raven. I'll just go ahead and chat it here. The Employees. It's a quick read. It's not very long, but and it's also like every chapter is literally 2 pages. Like the entries are very, very short form, so it's super, super easy to kind of tear through it. And it's unsettling. It is, because you just have so little information about what's going on at any given time. And at first you think the main horror is going to be these like objects that have been brought onto the ship, but there is a lot of other stuff that kind of happens that I think is equally or even more horrific. So I'll leave that spoiler free for you, but it's an interesting one. It also asks a lot of questions that sci-fi normally does about what it means to be human, and that's a cool thing also. Wow, they made a theater show based on it? That's cool. Oh, I would watch that. That's awesome. You feel like vampires are all the kinks all lumped together, like the biting, shadow people watching you, visiting in your sleep, non-consent. It's like everything, all of Reddit in one theme. What a concise and astute way to put it, Inertia. I think you've got it on lock. It's got something for everybody. You like blood? You like teeth? You like men that don't age? Sign us up.
Thank you.
Disappearing, turning into bats.
But
You know, and Dracula can turn into a bunch of stuff in that book. Like he turns into shadows and bats and wolves.
I will be waiting there. Farewell.
If you ever want something to laugh at, there is a vampire show called What We Do in the Shadows. It's kind of a love letter to vampires, but it's also just clowning. You like jazz? Did I make a reference to the B movie somewhere? Did I miss something? Oh, you love the show? Isn't it a fun one? It's so funny. Possessing the Aeon Soul allows you to raise the Aeon stats. Select attributes. Okay. Then select an Aeon. Okay. The selected Aeon stats are displayed. Stats that cannot be raised are shown in gray. Okay. Okay. So you can use a ton of spheres to level up some of their stats. I mean, it's a ton. Like, it costs literally 1/10 of that much to level up people's stuff on the sphere grid. I think I've heard about this, and I'd heard that it gets unlocked really late in the game, and I also heard that it's not really worth it because the price of the spheres that you're paying for what you're getting is just really low. But you also can't get more than 99, so I guess we may as well use some right now. Just to kind of top off the wares. Also open us up to getting more of them. But yes, What We Do in the Shadows is hilarious. I think we haven't really seen it, right, Pyro? I might have to show that to you at some point. Wormy and I like to talk about it. Wormy is obsessed with vampires. They really like vampires. I couldn't really pinpoint why. I think it might just be like in Immortal Freaks kind of deal. You ever watch the what is it, the Twilight series? You watched an ep or two. Okay, yeah. So you've tried it. I've watched not the biggest fan. Okay. It is a little bit like It's Always Sunny, where like I think the main joke is them kind of being awful people, but then there's also just like silly accent humor too, I guess. You're a Twilight freak too? Oh, I guess I should say you're a Twilight freak, period. I'm not I'm casually a Twilight fan, but I also kind of like to watch it because I think it's like, can I grab one of you? I can't. I think it's just mind-boggling, and it's sort of a cultural phenomenon in that sense. And on top of that, I like emo music from the 2000s, and you can't really get away with liking emo music from the 2000s without talking about Twilight, because it was kind of a miasma there. Like they're kind of one and the same. I think I'm gonna do Dragon Fang because I'd rather kill them, and I think Shooting Star. Well, I don't know. Let's just do it. No mercy. Nice. We're getting past it. Are you like a Edward or a Jacob kind of Twilight freak? Because in my experience, I thought that actually Edward and Jacob were maybe the least interesting of the maniacs in that movie series. Although I did understand why people kind of liked them too. They're just a very particular kind of edgy boy. It's funny, like, I actually think if you look at a lot of like male VTubers, most of them I think are harping on the same things, at least the corporate ones. They're harping on the same things that those two were harping on back in the 2000s. Like, you look at like the Niji Sanji English branch, all the boys they have, all of them are the same kind of like, ooh, I'm ephemeral and I don't age, and I'm so not human. I'm different. I'm damaged. You know. No, not this guy again. We are gonna. I hope we don't get clowned by this guy. You're a Carlisle baby. See, this is how much of a passing fan I am. I remember the name, but I gotta go look it up because I don't remember if that's the old guy. What? Okay, yeah, I remember this guy's face. He was kind of like the dad, right? I remember him being sort of like the father figure, the voice of reason, I think. I should just look up the Twilight cast, and I'll tell you which of these vampires was my favorite. Dimitri, Alice, Jasper. I remember Jasper. I'm pretty sure my favorite was probably maybe Alice? There was one vampire that was a lady that was like really close friends with Bella. And she was like really nice to Bella right from the beginning. I think she was my favorite. Because she was kind of goofy. You ever watched the Twilight movies, Pyro? You're also a Merrick lover. He's a part of the Volturi, yearning and having depression in the background because they killed the love of his life like 500 or more years ago. Ooh, those are pretty cool. I think that's an awesome trope of vampires, the vampire council. You've never watched him? Oh, let's see. Oh, I remember this guy. Yeah. I mean, talk about it, dude, who looks like he's had a rough go. A rough go of it. You'd think 500 years is enough time to get over it, but it must have been a very deep kind of love then, I guess. Well, so it wasn't him. Who was it that I liked? Esme? Or Rosalie? Let me go look this up. I saw it. You saw a part of the first one and you noped out. You know, I completely missed it when it came around the first time. Like, I wasn't really into it at all. But I had some friends who were like rewatching it a couple years back, and that's when I hopped in. I think it was Alice. I'm pretty sure Alice is my favorite. Weak. Damn. Get him. And there's also Queen of the Damned. Have you ever seen Queen of the Damned? That's also like a vampire movie, but it's... Who is it following? It's following Lestat. That's it. That one was pretty rad as a movie. I mean, at least visually. I think it was kind of ridiculous in terms of like a story, but if you're just trying to find like, I don't know, if you want to sit down for 2 hours of some good vampire shenanigans, there you go. Just don't expect to write home about it. Could you imagine if Studio Ghibli did like a vampire movie? That's probably why you like Howl too, by the way. He's got kind of the vampire DNA in him, if you ask me. Because he's like, but he's also so... If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it. And I'm gonna make Pyra watch it at some point. But he is so... I thought he was poisoned. Well, that's a mistake. Yeah, I guess piercing is the only way to damage him. Or maybe magic, too. Howl is so charming, despite... all the way throughout. Despite being kind of a jerk, he is so charming. He's just funny and... he's self-centered in exactly the way you want your protag to be. He's sort of like... it's like a good comparison. I'm not sure. I don't think I have a good point of reference. I think it's a difficult thing to pull off. You know how Bruce Wayne is when he's Bruce Wayne and not Batman? And he's kind of an asshole, but he's kind of lovable. That's what he's like at the beginning of the movie. And that's exactly why somebody would come up to me and say that they hate me for the cosplay, right? I haven't seen a vampire movie in like a year though. I'll have to check out another one. Oh my gosh, there was one that made me want to go read some classic literature. What was it? It was like The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen or something. We need a movie night. You know, yeah, that's actually something that's crossed our mind actually. I think both Pyra and Wormy mentioned having a movie night. And then I was... oh gosh, not bad breath. Okay, so... let's give that to Yuna. I think that'd be cool. I think there'd be some things to figure out so that we can make it happen and not get our little pirate ship blown out of the water. But I've seen other streamers do it and make it happen. One of the things we were thinking of doing was just picking a movie that's so old that nobody is gonna like stop you. Sort of like if you've ever heard of Mystery Science Theater 3000, they got away with showing whole movies with just the bare minimum of speaking over that by picking movies that were at least like 60 years old or so. A lot of the stuff was black and white. Some of it was like just terrible movies that people had never heard of, like Manos, Hands of Fate, that sort of deal. The other way to do it is you pick a movie that people can find on a streaming platform or some sort of platform, and then you just start at the beginning. You make it a just chatting stream, but then everybody starts the stream, the movie at the same time. Oh, look at this guy, he's huge. And be careful if it puts up its dukes. Okay, we fought one of these before. And we didn't have the scan ability, so we didn't learn about what his abilities, but he did put up his dukes. And I was immediately intimidated, so they've designed him well. Oh no. Yeah, I remember now. The last time I saw him, he killed Kamari right after I had revived him. If we were to do a movie night, I would want to do the Sonic movies. Oh my gosh, the Sonic movies. We would get absolutely clowned for it. Universal would come here and shove my halo down my throat and rip my wings off for it, but I think that would be a ton of fun. Because those movies are so silly. You don't want to watch the Sonic movie? Or you don't want me to get destroyed by Universal? He's put up his dukes. Let's just shield. I really like Sonic. I think he's funny. I mean, those movies are sort of not incredible either, to be fair, but I mean, what do you need to spend time? What would you want to watch? Is he just gonna keep keeping his arms up? Like, am I just gonna have to attack him at some point? Oh no, he puts them down. I would want to watch... I just like watching terrible movies. I think that's fun. Especially if you're gonna watch it on stream with somebody. It's like... a movie... I think a movie is best enjoyed in a theater, and second best, like, alone. I guess it's sort of like if you want to... The question is, do you want to take the movie seriously or not? Because if you're going to take the movie seriously, you should really just watch it alone. You know, like a piece of art or something. But if you want to watch it with people on stream and goof around, chat over it, I think it's better to choose something that you know you're not going to take super seriously. Especially because, I don't know, different people take watching a movie differently, I guess. Of course, you could also straddle the line and just find something that's really good. I love watching Ghibli movies as well. Pyro and I just had a movie night where we did a double feature of How to Train Your Dragon, which I had never seen, and Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which is my favorite Ghibli... Well, did I say... Howl's Moving Castle is my personal favorite Disney... sorry, not Disney. My personal favorite Ghibli movie, but I think Nausicaa is a better movie. I liked watching horrors or early 2000 Disney movies like High School Musical. It was so ridiculous as a rewatch. I would love to watch that. That's something that I missed. Like, I wasn't interested in High School Musical at the time that it was popular. But I think it would be so funny to rewatch it. Or Camp Rock. Oh my gosh. Lemonade Mouth. I remember seeing commercials for these, but I just never watched them. That would be a hoot. There was a Diary of the Wimpy Kid movie? Those books were terrible. I would love to watch that. I have a Letterboxd actually too, that I keep a list of movies to watch, and most of them, some of them are good, but a lot of them are terrible. Like Peak Cinema. As an adult, you see how high and drunk they were for 3/4 of the recording. For real? High School Musical? Oh, that's cool. I want to see that. I would love to do... I don't know. I just think terrible movies are funny. They have a spot in my heart. Have you ever heard of Bionicle? Like the Lego toys, Bionicle? I was super into them when I was a little angel. And they had some terrible movies. So I'd love to watch those. I wonder if I could make... So, let's find out right now. I'm gonna put this away. I'm gonna mute Final Fantasy X real quick. Oh. Let's see. I want to show one of my favorite clips. Wormy loves this clip too. It is a parody of a Bionicle commercial. Let's see. Let's do this. What happens if we do that? Let's do this off the side of the screen real quick. Whoa. How come there are 2 chats now? Be gone. Oh, I didn't want to do that one. We're deleting this chat. Okay. Oh. Hachi Machi. Where's that coming from? Oh. Y'all are not getting this, but I just got a YouTube ad in my face. Okay, that's probably why people don't do it as a source like that. So I guess we should just do browse. No, let's not do that. Let's do window capture. Let's separate out this tab in the case of any madness. Here we go. Beautiful, wonderful. I'm about to subject you to Bionicle Buffet. It's not an audio source though, is it? What if I unmute it? Nope, not an audio source yet. I doubt this is how people do this. But we're doing it live, so it's fine. Here you go. I hope this doesn't blast your eardrums out. Bonkle. Here, we'll lower it some so it doesn't blast your eardrums out. Check this out.
Of the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the deepest sea. Shrouded in mystica, superstition. Some say it's a hostel.
I think it was done like with AI or something.
That it serves as a dangerous outhouse. Legend has it that the only hope of ever getting out of there is a mask that every deep sea cucumber has been craving for years. A mask, they say, everyone is prepared to fuck for and risk their life to possess. But the only way of ever finding out is to fuck around and find out. Bionicle presents the annual Bionicle Buffet, a 3-day
This is my favorite part.
complete smorgasbord of pies and pastries and pizza and grilled salmon and mussel crabs and dumplings and cakes and sandwiches and proto-derbies and stuffed peppers and mutton and brisket and rusty nails. And
Rusty nails.
and meatballs and fresh squeezed lemonade
Disclosures.
and cigarettes and fingernail clippings and
Cigarettes.
bicycle chains and cone snails and acorns and scorpions and cactus needles and rubber bands and pencil shavings and grilled salmon and egg rolls and spoiled yogurt and staples and rigidity
Staples.
and rotten cheese and battery acid.
Oh gosh. Okay, well, you're gone now. Yeah, that was Bionicle presents a buffet. Just a deep voice doing such an insane list. Like you keep imagining this buffet. It's got battery acid and bicycle chains and rusty nails. It's just madness. Demented every time. I'll say this. I feel like there's only a handful of things that I do that make me think that I'm like internet brained or whatever, or chronically online, and I think enjoying videos like that is one of those. That's one of those, like, all right, we got a little bit of the brain rot, you know? Not perfectly unscathed. Oh gosh. So Bionicle, we could do the Bionicle movie. It won't be as funny as that was. I've thought about doing a just chatting, like an internet stream too. Like that'd be kind of fun. Sometimes we'll be on Discord and my friends, we have nothing to do on a night or whatever, and we all want to be on a call, but we've got nothing to look at. So we'll do something we call internet liaison, which means whoever is the internet liaison, they share their screen, and generally speaking, we just, it's like being at an animal enclosure or something at a zoo. Like, you're not supposed to do anything like special. You just do whatever you would do to fill your time on the internet, like passively scrolling through Reddit or Facebook, going down on like deep dives, and that fills up a couple hours, and then it's time for bed. So I think that'd be fun to do. I've seen some streamers do that sort of thing. My feed would kill you. What have you got on your feed that's so deadly? Wait, is your feed like an SCP? Like it'll just... It's got like, what do they call it? An information hazard? I think there's a lot of things in life right now that are kind of information hazards. You know, one thing, like, I feel like I keep a good tab on brain rot. Like I hear about it, but it's not, I don't know about it all the time. So there's one that I keep hearing about that everybody is calling Italian brain rot, and I have not seen any of it, nor am I all that interested in finding it, but I've heard rumors, you know? It's like when you're playing a RPG and you hear rumors of like a dragon in town, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to meet that eventually, but I haven't yet. Are Lux Spheres like crazy rare or something? I wonder what they even improve. This away. And then here. It's like definitely spiced with every weird corner of the internet. I get what you mean. My stuff, it varies week to week, and right now I've been watching a lot of Good Mythical Morning. I grew up watching them on YouTube, Rhett and Link, but I kind of stopped watching them when I started watching more VTubers, and they started to do more of this like really samey content, where they would do mostly just food stuff, and I got kind of bored of that. But I don't know, something brought me back recently. So do I have like a level 3 key thing, or no? Just level 2. Okay, well, then it doesn't really make sense to send her over here. Maybe go this way. So it's a lot of Rhett and Link, but it's also a lot of VTubers. It's a lot of learning how to do streams, because I've been looking up a lot of tutorials. Art as well. I've been watching people who stream art on YouTube, so there's been a lot of that. What's in the center here? Let's send Auron this way. Who cares? I think you could tell a lot about people from their stream. Alright, not their stream, their feed. I think you would learn... I'll click on just about anything that looks funny. I think that's what you learned from me. Okay, wait, I want to see... What's over here? Thundaga. Oh, we gotta get this girl over there. It's down here, too. What is this? Evasion. That's pretty good. We'll get over there. What else do I watch? I like watching funny dude bros. I like watching dudes whose main sense of humor is like pretending to be, I don't know, himbos and idiots and sort of generally putting their foot in their mouth. So I also watch these guys named Hivemind.
My will is strong.
They actually do streaming, but I would never really watch them stream. Their sense of humor is sort of... One of them is the straight man. One of them is like the no-nonsense kind of guy, and he's generally just like a laid-back sort of dude. And then the other one, he's sort of demented and strange. And together they make a really good duo. That's the sort of stuff I watch. But I'll be honest, I don't really watch that much stuff. I haven't watched that much stuff in like 2 weeks, really, because I spend so much time on the internet now streaming that it's like, I try to limit the amount of videos I watch. But I don't do a lot of scrolling generally. I like to, I guess I kind of scroll through Reddit some, but I don't really I used to have a Reddit account. I don't really use it anymore. I was just, I could tell I was just using it for infinite scrolling, doom scrolling kind of reasons, so it felt like I should stop. And I sometimes will log into, or I won't log into Reddit, but I'll just use like a, let's do Lazara Fury. I'll just open Reddit and not log in and just kind of see what's up there. So, it's all sorts of stuff, I guess. Let's go. Come on. Okay. Well. Wow. Oh, he's resistant to magic, right? Okay. My feed yesterday was all about thirst trap guys who watched too many dark romance and book talks like Bookstagram, and they want to be appealing to female gaze. But it's either so good you know he's too popular with girls, or so bad that I died from cringe. That's a corner of the internet that I don't know anything about, because I mean, I know a little bit of, like, a really, really tiny amount of, like, not book talk or Bookstagram, but just, like, book YouTubers. I know some folks, because I like to, like, I read, you know, 3 or 4 books a year, maybe more, and I like to see people's opinions. I like to see people talk about these books, but wow, the thirst trap aiming at book talk crowd is wild. That's just not something that crosses my feed, and I am genuinely curious about it because I don't know, like, I think I'm trying to make something that's for general audiences, but I'm gonna know firsthand more about me and the kind of things I would watch. Like, I'm trying to make something that I would watch. Does that make sense? But there are so many different kinds of eyes. You know what I mean? There are people that are watching for all sorts of reasons. So, what do I have to learn from a sort of thirst trap guy? I don't know. Something, I'm sure. Especially when he's appealing to the book talk female gaze. But you know, authenticity is a big thing to me too. So it's like, I don't know that I would change, at least the way I act, in order to appeal to new people, but I might change the things I do. Like, I might change the video games I play or the topic of the streams. I need to submerge you one day. Yeah, you should, you should do a stream where you're showing us your feed. I'd watch that. I'd be so curious to see what other people's streams are like. You could show us all the thirst traps and all your favorites.
Summons from Lord Seymour. Come with us.
This should be good.
We have nothing to discuss.
Yeah, you just want to find a way to create your own harem. That's all this is for. You got that right. I would just like a lot of women fawning over me. Virtually. I want everyone to... I'll put up like a... What do they call it? There's like a thing where you can make people like pick from a list of things to buy for you, and I'll just make it like sweets. Buy me a donut or an ice cream. Feed my sweets habits. Isn't that the dream though? Isn't that why we're all logging in? We just want a harem that makes fun of us and also compliments us. Resistant to physical attacks. Made of stone. Okay. Well, none of these bosses are going to do so well against that. Stop to Lulu. I would think that something that's made of stone is weak to water, so let's find out. One voice actor guy I found has a wish list, and he has like a guitar, clothes, and weird stuff. That's weird. Interesting. I wonder what the weird stuff includes. I have seen some wish lists that are pretty wild. We're talking like lingerie and, let's say, paraphernalia, to keep it PG-13. I think I honestly have a hard time imagining setting something like that up, just because I'm doing it for fun. Like, you've mentioned it on your stream, the idea, like, adult things, Dragon specifically. Whoa. I didn't know Pyro streamed. He didn't tell me he was a voice actor. So yeah, I have a hard time imagining setting that up, because I think you mentioned on your stream, you're doing this for fun, like you do art for fun. and you don't really want to totally sell your art because there's kind of a barrier there, and I kind of get that. Like, I would like to, like, it would be cool if I grew this thing to be bigger, but it feels like I'd have to get a lot further before I feel comfortable having people spend money to do this, you know? And if I ever did a wish list, I think I would want it to be stuff that makes the stream better. So I would wish list, like, maybe a goal towards getting a new model, getting a better microphone, another screen or something like that, because then it's sort of like, okay, you're investing in what you're watching, but buy me a nice jacket? That feels a little weird. I'd feel weird wearing that jacket, you know? I'd think, yeah, this is the jacket that Stream bought me. I'd feel like chat is my sugar daddy or something. Or my sugar mamas. So I'd wear it and I'd go, some part of me doesn't like this. Sorry, when this boss defeats you, I bet he says a jab well done. Carlos from the Magic School Bus. Carlos! I'm gonna have to remember, so his name is Defender X, so where's the pun coming from? I think there's a pun in there, I'm sure. Is it because he's punching me? I really liked the Magic School Bus growing up. I thought Miss Frizzle was awesome. She is, like, exactly the kind of teacher I'd like to do some teaching someday, and I think she's exactly the kind of teacher I'd aspire to be. It's Miss Frizzle now. The yassified Miss Frizzle. She had to retire after people found their own OnlyFans. Oh no. I guess I haven't watched in a while. Things seem to have changed quite a bit. Does she still have the lizard? What was the lizard's name? I don't remember. Yeah, that was a funny TV show. I still remember some moments horrifically though, like, what's his name? Doesn't Arnold get his head frozen solid in space? I remember that quite clearly. I remember the girl who was like, Phoebe, I think? Phoebe was always like, this wouldn't happen at my old school. That was her thing. They all had one-liners. He was a dork. Yeah, Arnold was a dork, but I liked him. He reminded me of me. Glad she went out of her way back to her old school. Did she leave the show? I know that they made a reboot, and I honestly I thought Kamari would be the strongest, but I guess I was wrong, so God. Carlos. This is a funny concept you've got. We're gonna end up getting like resounding Carloses in the chat here, because these are pretty good. That also seems to require an amount of knowledge about Final Fantasy X. That's impressive. Let's keep pasting people, I guess. I'll slow him too. I hate Rin's Hotel. It's all bed, no breakfast. Incredible. What the hell? I'm getting upstaged here. Warrior. Oh. The Haymaker. You can't ever be all wrong. Okay, I'll give you a Carlos for that, because that one's a little bit more of a stretch. Are these just coming to you? Like, I do have a friend who has a friend, and this friend of a friend is the national champion of puns. Like, there was a championship held, I think, like a month ago, and he won it. And he's just like the best person at it. I didn't even know there was competitions for it, but you might want to start taking notes. You might want to look into it. I was not punctual for that. I mean, get on it, yo. You could mop up the competition, so to speak. Wow. Yeah, what were we chatting about, though? Oh, yeah, just like the whole idea of having a wish list and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine doing anything that I would wear. Anything especially personal. I think a model would make a lot of sense, though. I've seen some VTubers that do have that as like an investment goal. I even added his photos as art for the profile for Carlos. You're going in hard, huh? You made this in 2020. Oh, that's pretty rad, though. Oh, it looks like you gave me a follow. Thank you very much, Carlos. Are you just, like, really, really good at this pun thing? Like, I wasn't joking. If you're like this quippy about it, you really might want to consider a future in making this a competitive thing. Buy me this 36 pack of monsters so I have energy to stream. Wow. I think I've never had a monster. I've mentioned this before. I already told this story, but I don't really drink caffeine very much, so when I do drink it, it just completely wrecks me. He's resistant to physical attacks, but it feels like it might just be what I have to do. I don't know. That's why I made it. I saw you wanted to see this profile growth, so I wanted to help. Wait. Are you the friend of the friend? Are you the person that won all the... You're the national pun champion? No way! Holy cow, that explains why you're so keyed in. Well, thank you for... Well, I guess I should let you confirm that. But if you are, thank you for coming by. And if not, I mean, thank you for coming by anyway. Nah, man, that unlocked more opportunities to come. Huh. Wow. Yeah, I guess I should I'll tell the complete story about that person that I mentioned. I was hanging out with my friend, and I had matched with someone on a dating app. Someone that was also doing a Gura cosplay in her dating app profile. And so I just kind of asked aloud to the people I was hanging out with, like, anybody got a shark-based pun as a one-liner, like a way to open this up? And the person I was one of the people I was hanging out with, my friend, she tells me this story about her friend that does pun stuff competitively or whatever. And I guess you could say you found her instead of Tinder, lol, sorry. Oh well, no worries. Right, so I was given like 4 or 5 shark puns on the spot from this guy. I did get a reply at the very least, though nothing really came of it. I mean, it's a dating app, like, what do you expect? This guy is high-key, like, kicking my ass right now. I think I might be able to get around it if I do, like, a mega potion, but I don't have one, so that's not gonna work. Oh, I do. Okay, never mind. Let's do that. He's gonna win by a knockout. It might be a bit of a rockout, actually. Here we go. Yeah, this is a pretty fun little concept, though. I remember I would do something like this when I played TF2 a lot. Like, I would rotate through different characters I was trying to play as, and I would have binds, like chat binds, that would do quotes from the characters. So the one that I did the most often was Yami Yugi, which is, you know, the main character from Yu-Gi-Oh! And I had a bunch of chat binds that would spam stuff like, "My deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba," and like, "Exodia, obliterate." It added a layer to the game, and I mean, I have 4,000 hours in it, so around the 1,500 hour mark, you just start trying to come up with any way to make it entertaining. You stream on a different account, but you had to lay off the caffeine 2 months ago, so be careful. Yeah, it's very easy to become dependent on that stuff, in my experience. Or I guess, from what I've heard about people that have done a lot of it. Massive fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Here before Synchros and Pendulums. Yeah, Pyro is too, actually. I don't know if he's still in chat, but he loves Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot. I've played it some, and I have a handful of decks, but I would not say I'm an expert in the TCG. I love trading card games in general, though, so I know a little bit about it. I know at least what's it called? I know what how did I forget the name of it? Mind Jar? That's not what it's called. No! Oh, I totally messed up the punchline here. Pot of Greed. How could I forget Pot of Greed? I know what Pot of Greed does. You were in the hospital for a week. Holy cow. Yeah, that's a lot of caffeine. And the funny thing is that I think that you can, if you don't really take care of your nutritional intake, like if you don't really monitor it, it's super duper easy to spill right over into way, way, way high zones. Like, most of your intake for most things should be relatively low. At least a day. I still haven't really mastered this thing. Whoa. I went to get earwax removed. They took my blood pressure at the clinic and they told me it was stroke levels. So I stayed in for a week to get it down. Holy cow. 253? I didn't even know it goes that high. Yeah, that is medical marvel. How are you standing in front of us right now? It sounds like. I believe that if you're a student, then diseases from energy drinks cannot touch you until you're done with exams. There is something about the unbridled optimism of a student trying to cram in the last 48 hours that does seem to keep people going despite everything. Let's keep cheering. How much health does this thing have? 24,000, so we're like a third of the way there. I don't want it to kill Lulu, though. Actually, a radio host on Twitch. I was just hyped because I saw me in a future game I petitioned to be in. I think I'll be doing the radio in the car radio as this person. Whoa. So you're going to be doing the radio voice of a character in an upcoming game, is what I'm understanding. That's pretty cool. An NPC. Okay. Yo, you're gonna be an NPC. You're gonna be an NPC in what you call it in GTA 6. I hope your voice lines are funny. I mean, it sounds like you've got quite a lot of personality, so I'm sure you will do a very good job. In-game host for the radio. That's awesome. Have you been voice acting long? That seems like such an interesting calling, an interesting career. Because, I mean, so much of life is about communication through voice, so if you practice all of it, like imagine just your ability to use it all the time. Oh, just for this. I petitioned to be the metal host, and a day before it leaked, Benny Blanco came on revealing he was lurking for a year. Benny Blanco was lurking in your chat for forever, and now you're... and now you're gonna be in GTA 6. That's what I'm hearing. Wow. Oh my gosh. Just remember all the little people now that you're in GTA 6. That would be awesome. If I could pick any game to then suddenly be in because somebody was lurking in my chat the whole time. Oh man. I'd want to design a Magic the Gathering card. That would be cool. If like Mark Rosewater, Loki was in here. I would want to I don't know. Maybe voice act as somebody in Kingdom Hearts? That'd be cool too. I'm already world famous due to a buddy who is a huge YouTuber, if you know or watch Markiplier. I might have heard of him once or twice. Isn't he the guy who did the Bite of 87? Blast punch. Woof. She lived though. She's not living that yet. Spoke too soon. This game could sort of end up feeling like Pokemon sometimes, where you have to do a lot of heal spamming. Except that the opponents can attack all three of your characters at once, so kind of bouncing through all of that. It feels like it ends up taking more of your turn economy than it normally does in Pokemon. Look at that, that's ridiculous. You're Mark's buddy Mike, who scares him with metal music. I don't know the Markiplier lore like that, but that's pretty cool that you know Markiplier if that's the case. Does he still do stuff? I haven't really... I mean, I watched him a little bit back in the day. But I don't really... I think the last thing I saw from him was when he was doing a stream with... what you call it? He was just doing an almost completely silent stream where he was smasher passing all of the Pokemon. All he would do was smasher pass the beer Jesus. I'm not sure that your command is going to do anything right now. I don't think I really have a Discord set up or anything. This is my alter ego. Oh, okay. Well, hello. Now I'm sort of curious. Account age. Yeah, again, none of this is really gonna... I don't have a stream... I assume these are Streamlabs commands. None of these are gonna work in my chat because I don't have any of that set up yet. But one day, since 2013, wow! Oh. This is going poorly. And she's almost out of magic. Yeah, I got you. This is Carlos. I got you. Yeah, actually, click it, and there you go. Since 2013. Thanks again for the follow. What do you like to stream? Because I've mostly been doing video games, but we've been chatting all stream today about doing other forms of entertainment for the stream. Like, just chatting or watching a movie. We could do karaoke one day, that'd be cool. You do a radio show. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Now I see. Is that daily? Let's keep going. Every Friday, 4 until 3. Wow! That is a long time to talk. I get to the 2 or 3 hour mark right now, and I'm like, all right, I'm kind of... I'm kind of ready to call it. I'm at that point. That takes a lot of stamina, I think. That's cool. Oh my gosh. At some point, I'll have healed enough that someone will survive, and I can start dealing damage again. Yes. Oh, whoops. Let's do that. We were chatting about something else that I kind of missed. We were chatting about Yu-Gi-Oh! For a hot second. That is such an interesting game, Yu-Gi-Oh! I find it to be so different from Magic. Mostly because the density of the rules, I don't know if it's just like, I'm not young, as young as I was when I started Magic, so like I don't gel with the rules as much. But then also, like, every single card has like, the legibility in that game is a lot lower than Magic, I think. I think it's very difficult to tell what's going on a card compared to when you're playing Magic, which makes it more difficult to learn. I'm gonna bank on this just killing him, so that we can... He'd hate it if not for the Dragon Maid deck. I wouldn't say hate, that's such a strong word. But I do like the Dragon Maid deck, I think it's very cute. It reminds me of one of my favorite anime. I mean, and they're just so adorable. I saw a YouTuber once describe Yu-Gi-Oh! Generally as like a vibes-based game. Especially playing it like online. And what is that game called?
This isn't the way in.
Master Duel, I think? Yeah, because it handles all the rules for you, so you just kind of have to click and drag cards, and that works enough, so... So that's one of those ones that's like... you play it, you just move stuff, you don't really know what it's doing. You're just kind of letting the game handle itself. We saw my garage where I stream from... In trailer 2, we think Jack Black is playing the NPC me while I do the radio under an assumed name. Huh. I hope they do a Lorcana-like minigame for Kingdom Hearts 4. That would be interesting. It would be very RPG to have a whole card game minigame in there. I would like it too because I think I'm never going to get Sora on a trading card otherwise, you know? Like, they had the trading card game for Kingdom Hearts back in the day, but... That's not what I'm looking for. Watch out for poison. Well, let's swap to Riku and steal the nades out of these guys. I probably like need to find a save point soon. We don't read the cards. Yeah. I think that's the only thing that might make sense as to why we don't have a lot of HP with the remaining people here. But I think we can get away with it. See ya, Nursey. Thanks for stopping by. Ah, okay. Yeah. If you're not reading the cards, that would probably helps a lot. Lulu lived at 1. I'm beginning to wonder if we're like under-leveled. Because that boss fight was like more challenging than I would have expected. And this is just a random encounter that's also kind of thrashing us.
So be it.
So be it. Get a moron. Triple Triad. Is that another card game? Is that a card game in...
Let's go.
Was it The Witcher? Or... Oh, yes. In FF8. Yeah, I remember seeing something about that. That's the one with Squall. He shows up in Kingdom Hearts 2, so I know a little bit about him. I am going to put down the controller, and I'm just going to take a breather here. Shrimp check for everyone. Take a drink of water. Stretch. It's the 2-hour mark. Probably play for another hour or so. And Selphie, the ADHD wonder. I think she was in Kingdom Hearts as well, in the first one. She was like on the beach with Sora and company. I haven't played a lot of Final Fantasy, actually. This is my second Final Fantasy. I'd played 7, and then I really just wanted to play both of these because of the Magic the Gathering set that dropped like a couple weeks ago. I wanted to have like some context for all these cards. And I like them on paper because I grew up playing the Kingdom Hearts games, and so they showed up in those games. And Tetsuya Nomura, of course, too, designed the characters, and he's got a hand in both of these franchises, so I kind of figured I'd like them both. And so far, that's been the case. It's very different gameplay-wise, of course, than Kingdom Hearts, but it's still pretty fun. I'm looking forward to 4 as well. I am so curious to see if they'll put Marvel or Star Wars in there, because it feels almost inevitable in some ways.
Where are we?
The faith is inside.
Ooh.
As are the fiends.
Hey, this where...
Where? What?
Have you played a lot of
Some of
Final
them
Fantasy
embarked
games
on
then?
their first pilgrimage.
Seeing as how you knew all of these things about the characters here in 10 for all your puns. Somewhat.
Yuna, let's go.
You're aware of them, at least it sounds like. Nothing past 11. Oh, I gotcha, okay. Yeah, I know a passing amount about some of them, but they're not all on my list, admittedly. I think if I were to play another Final Fantasy game right after this one, it would probably be 15, the boys' road trip one, because that one seems very funny. And then maybe 16 as well, just because Clive looks really cool. This track is really nice. Oh. Huh. I seem to remember seeing these guys way back in the game. You highly recommend 6 and 1? It looks like. Ooh. 6. 6 is the one with... Oh, it was the Mardu commander. Terra. 6 is the one with Terra. I mean, it was popular enough to get a commander deck, so I guess it must be good. Oh, and 9. That's the one with Vivi. I want to do that one too. I think there's probably just only so much Final Fantasy I can take in a single given year, though, too. Like, I love playing strategy games and role-playing games, but I also love doing action and, like, shooters, adventure games, that sort of thing, too. So, it's about finding a balance. Yeah, that's a pretty good... He falls in love with booty shorts with legs in the end. So is that your estimation of Tifa? Booty shorts with legs? I liked 7 when I played through it. I thought that Cloud's arc was pretty fun, and Sephiroth is awesome. I'm still looking for the Sephiroth card to add to my own collection. I think I tell my friends maybe once a week at least, as Pyro knows. Yeah, I really liked it though. I think it was interesting too because you can see the bones of when it's from. Like, I think a lot of games, especially like generic adventure games in the early 2000s, were kind of harping on the same kind of lots of mini games and vehicle sections and all this sort of thing. Like 7 was really trying to make the most of it being on a piece of hardware that could do more with 2D models, or 3D models, I mean. So it's pretty special. The Mad Max industrial-like map, yeah. The... what do you call it? Let's secure the silence. It was very... not... it was sort of cyberpunk, but it was also sort of steampunk. And the funniest thing was how different the rest of the world was around it. It was kind of a world in the process of being taken over by the cyberpunk of it all, but not completely taken over yet. Are they weak? Oh, they're resistant to magic. Okay. Let's swap to Auron. And Sephiroth generally was just... I mean, I actually think he kind of gets a little overhyped, but it doesn't even matter. Like, he's just so cool. Yeah, I'm beginning to feel very much like these enemies are stronger than we are. But then again, like, we just start attacking them and we do just fine, so... Let's talk to Kimahri. I don't really use this guy very often. Mostly, I suppose, because there's not really enemies that have, like, a direct weakness to him. Sephiroth is a layered villain. I would agree. I would agree. He's kind of a madman, but he's not, like... that's not everything. If that's all you said about him, you would be missing an amount of aspects of him. He's, he feels like a very specific kind of vein. And he's got, like, a god complex, too. But the fact that he has this, like, unique relationship with Cloud, and him and Cloud are really kind of different versions of... wow. So we gotta deal 9,999 damage, because presumably this will be like a Perish song sort of thing. And I assume if we let it get to its end, it will kill us. I think Lulu might outdamage Kimahri though, so we'll swap to her. Yeah, so his connection to Cloud really deepens the whole experience. Not weak to physical attacks. That mood makes sense. Let's swap to Yuna then.
You couldn't reach the far plane.
Oh. A fitting contextual voice line. You love how in Japan they show angels as superstitious and arrogant towards humans. Yeah, they've got definitely a different lilt. I think that more often than not, they get compared to... okay, he pointed at Titus. Does he just die? Now or later? Okay, definitely later. Wow, okay, Marluxia definitely references this in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories and also in 3. They've got like an attack that sets a timer above your head like this. He'll do it in 5 turns, though. He's counting us off. Yeah, I think that angels in, at least in anime, the anime I've seen, they're almost always either not trustworthy, or they're monsters, or they're less than you would expect. Like, I mean, this is kind of a silly example to pull, but like Panty and Stocking, and they're getting another season soon. Like, that is a very different kind of angel than you would expect. They're very, I don't know. rough around the edges, let's say.
What's a faith doing in a place like this?
Don't ask me. They say it was stolen from a temple long ago. Huh?
With no faith, summoners cannot train. Without training, they cannot call the final Aeon. Without the final Aeon, they cannot defeat sin. That is why.
'Cause then the summoner won't die.
That
Let's
must be
see.
what the thief was thinking.
It'll be aeons and aeons until we get the final Aeon. That's funny. Yeah.
I kinda agree with him.
I wonder how many more hours. There's not much of the game left. I don't think they can really hold off on it. Oh. Oh. Steel. And that one's aerial and resistant to magic. So let's swap to Waka. Take that guy out. Bam. Nice. Swap to Riku, steal the middle guy. I'm looking forward to having lunch soon, once the stream's over. What am I gonna have? I think I'm probably gonna do like a smoothie. Maybe
So be it.
maybe fry some rice or something too. Got a bunch of eggs. You're prepping dinner for tonight. You're gonna do wraps. Ooh, that's a nice one. I should try doing that sometime. I kind of want any excuse to put more beans in my diet because they're so high in protein and fiber. They're just really good for you. And I would love beans in a wrap or a burrito. That's awesome. Jerk chicken with an avocado lime sauce with rice and minced pineapple. Nice. That's great. It's so good to cook. I feel like that's just... It's one of those things that just brings us all together, you know? We all gotta eat. Which means, I mean, not all of us cook, but most of us do. Jerk chicken is so good, too. And like the avocado is gonna be like nice and fatty and cut right through it. It's the most underrated hobby. I think so. Just because of its universality, you know? You can use it, it's such a powerful skill. And I think there's a reason, like you look at what does well on YouTube, for example, at, like just at being popular, and a lot of it is food, because, well, we can all kind of get behind it, you know? Next to stargazing. Ah, yes, this guy's immune to physical attacks. I forgot. This might be a long one, then. Although he can get hurt by piercing. Stargazing is cool as well. I think light pollution is kind of challenging in a lot of areas, so it makes it something you do have to kind of commit energy towards. But, I mean, when you can find like a clear space, oof, there's nothing quite like it. Get him, moron. Let's heal herself. But yes, I love cooking. I've been probably cooking for like 9 or 8 years. I mean, I was always in the kitchen, but I would say I seriously picked up cooking probably 9 or 8 years ago. I find that everybody is a different kind of cook too. Like, we like to learn in different ways. And for me, I'm very much I'm an experimenter. I like to stay on the same like meal for a really long time in order to see how I can improve it and figure out all the ways to do it. And that's easy to do in the era of the internet too, because I don't know, like I'll just sit down, I'll start watching somebody eating. Whoa. I might just die to this guy. I guess I need to probably prep for the bad breath when he uses it. Or when I'm fighting this guy, because the likelihood that I get stuck by it and then I just die is too high. Like, this might actually reset us and cause us to lose. There goes Yuna. Lulu's gonna have to dodge or live. Nope. Yeah, we just died. Alright. Now we gotta take those encounters with that guy a little bit more seriously. We talked about Tinder earlier. I use that app and I love how it's so political. If you voted for this, don't swipe. It's what you called closed-minded people. Yeah, I mean, I think those apps are not doing a good job of causing real human emotion, you know? Like, the process of getting to know somebody in person does not really start with getting a cheat sheet of everything that they're like. And I think that when you get a cheat sheet like that, you start to over-focus on what they're like, almost like a checklist. Like, yes, they do this, yes, they do this, no, they don't do this, no, they don't do this. So I'm going to keep on swiping. Hit the correct eye for prizes. Oh, okay. What does that even mean? Hit it. Wrong. What the hell is this guy? I don't know what that meant, or what I was supposed to do there. It's like, when you see love, do you expect everyone to be a Prince Charming? Yeah, I think it's just an effect of those apps more than anything. And I think finding a partner, finding someone that you like, I guess there's a reason we've been doing it for the way we have for so long, and there are almost always better alternatives than those apps. Like, and I say so mostly because they're designed. I don't think that they're really designed to work. You mentioned the idea of marriage and putting up with somebody. I mean, I think I would phrase it this way. If you are in Berlin, or really any metropolitan area, and you take a bus, and you hang on to it for like a block, and then you get off, you're still in Berlin, and you're still basically in the same place that you started. And it doesn't really matter which bus you pick. If you get off that bus, get onto another one, follow it for another while, you will still be in Berlin. Now, on the other hand, if you pick a bus and you stay on it for forever, and you wait an hour, 2 hours, you'll probably no longer be in Berlin. Meaning, every single path kind of takes you in different directions if you stick to it. But if you don't, the early parts will always end up feeling quite the same. I guess what I mean to say is,
What's a faith doing in a place like
you
this?
shouldn't, like, be devoted to someone that isn't going to be good for you, but at the same time, there is something to be said for the idea of holding out judgment, and sticking through with someone. Like, I think that's what makes friendship so easy, is mostly because, like, culturally you're not really evaluating your friends in that way, and so you just stick through them, through rough parts, through thick and thin, and you end up with these relationships that are worth a lot for that reason. You live with a disability that impairs you to drive downtown, so your town is in the Stone Age, so still not realizing what that means. Yeah. I guess, yeah, I don't really mean to, the analogy about public transport isn't about the importance of public transport, though it is important. It's just the idea of committing to something. Commitment to something, anything, or anyone, will bring you closer. And sometimes it's not right. Sometimes it is. I don't know. It's a great big question mark. If it was so easy, I don't know. There wouldn't be a whole industry around it, I guess. But at the same time, it's just a matter of, I don't know, putting time into it, I guess.
Don't ask me.
Oh, we watched this already. I can't skip it, though. Ah!
They say it was. Huh?
With no
But I'm just some dude on the internet.
without
so.
training,
I'd say take my advice with a grain of salt.
without the final that is
I can tell you what it's like being an angel on the internet, or a VTuber, pretty easily.
That must be what.
But all I can offer otherwise is my opinion. Do we have more sphere grid stuff? Not really. Let's just keep going. These guys again. Kind of want to see if Waka can like flatten it. Nice. Can. Less nice. You waited until your late 30s and 40s to get married. Your buddy brags about his marriage. Doesn't it upsets you? Or it sickens you? How come? I don't know. I've got a pal, a friend of mine just got married earlier this year. And, we had been friends since elementary school, but once high school rolled around, we kind of fell off. We went in different directions in life, and now we only really see each other a handful of times a year. But hearing about it, it just seemed to me like it was another step for him in life, I guess. Let's talk to Lulu. Ah. You think they're hiding something? That sounds like. Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of living too, right? Nobody's ever really... I mean, that's not true. Plenty of folks will show you their problems, but different people deal with it different ways. And it is, of course, at the end of the day, their business. I tend to try to run myself as an open book. I think you can normally tell if something's going wrong with me, because I'm just expressive. So if something's going on in my head, generally, everyone in a 5-mile radius knows about it. But I don't know, there's plenty of things too that I hold in as well. But I don't really want to... I think for me, it's coming from a place of not wanting to worry people. Normally, the way I run myself, I guess I'm evaluating pretty regularly. Like, do I need to reach out to friends? Is this something I can manage by myself? Or should I talk to somebody I know, an elder, a family member, somebody I trust? But, I don't know. It's not very often that I need to. And I'd really prefer to share my life as a series of funny stories to people. So, and a lot of times a funny story kind of needs an end. So I normally prefer to tell people about what I've gone through after I'm done going through it. It's the type that brags to the point where it almost feels like it's an insecurity. Huh. Yeah, that can be tricky to be around. Because you always end up wondering, like, who is this for? Is this for you? Is this for me? Let's keep going.
So be it.
I know there are some areas that I do like to be quite a braggart about myself. I like to openly brag. I like to openly brag about my friends. When my friends do things, especially things that I want to be good at, I'll always talk about them for forever. Like, I've got a friend who was on stream, Wormy, the other day, and they do a bunch of art. And gosh, okay, so here's the eye thing again. I don't understand. Hit the correct eye. Oh, you can target every eye individually, and it's just having us guess, I suppose. So it's little indicators on the left, so I guess I'll pick the left top one? I don't know. Maybe it's the lower left one. Bingo! We got there. Oh, look at this little guy. A phoenix down. Oh, are we just guessing? Yeah, we're just guessing. I got there. Wow. We're I don't know where we're gonna go now. Maybe top right. What the heck? That's 3 for 3. Out of what? 3, 6. Is there 7 of them? Is it purely random? Let's go middle now. What? That's 4 in a row. Bottom right. Wrong. Oh, okay. Well, pretty good. Oh, that killed Titus. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, but I love to brag about my friends when they do new things that I want to do. Like, Wormy does a ton of art. I'd love to do art like they do. Pyro, he does a ton of baking, which is pretty cool to see. I mean, he's always bringing baked goods to like every single function. When it comes to me, what I'll brag about what I actually do myself, if I'm doing something new, something I've talked about forever, like trying to do for forever, that's what I'll brag about. Like with my friends, I have been bragging about this VTubing streaming thing, trying to get people on. Just because, I don't know. I talked about doing this for years, and just one day I got tired of the idea of waiting to do it till everything was perfect. It's like, forget it. Perfect's never gonna come around. Let's just do it half good enough. So I do it a lot with new things. I do it a lot with something that's kind of challenging to stick to. Like, I have been walking like 5 miles a day. So every time that we roll around to like a new milestone on that, like when it became a month, I bragged about it, or like 2 weeks. We're all proud of you for it. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Pyro. Hey, and we're proud of you for all your awesome baked goods. You don't have to look any further than the amount we consume whenever you bring them around. All those cookies. I'm still thinking about the cookies you brought last time. Holy cow. They were so good. I want cookies right now. Rice and beans I recommend trying out with chicken, and add minced sweet peppers and jack cheese to melt. Ah, yeah, that sounds really good. Oh my gosh, my stomach is grumbling. I don't think my mic is good enough to pick it up, but... Ooh. Looking forward to lunch. Dinner should be interesting tonight as well, because I'll be hanging out with a friend at a festival, like a summer festival that a town nearby me hosts every year. Gonna watch a movie out on a field, and then I don't know what they're gonna have. I think normally they have like Middle Eastern and pizza. I already had pizza this weekend though, so. Oop, there he goes. It's funny too, because I think I go through a lot of cycles of trying new things, bragging about it, moving on to another thing. I can't blow that up because it will most certainly kill all of us. Right, so I go through cycles of it. And any one of those stops in particular isn't exactly a monument on its own, but you know, you do enough of that and then you end up becoming like a person that's just had such a long story, such a long list of things that you've been into. Like, Pyro is doing this baking thing right now, but you also bike. You've been into cards and card games. Pokemon. D&D. I mean, that's a huge one too. TTRPG stuff. Your world is so cool, Pyro. Like, it genuinely took so much effort to make. And to keep making. Talk about something worth bragging about and being proud of. Oh, what? How much time? Another half hour? I can wait that long. Just hungry. And this is a lot more than I would normally play a video game for, to be honest. I think I'm very much like a... At least recently, I've been kind of more on the clock about how I game. Like, I'll do like an hour of the game, and then I'm like, okay, I want to go on a walk, or I want to go do anything else. Maybe watch a video. Ooh, a primer. So, sitting down and just playing 3 hours of it, it takes an amount of effort for me. I enjoy it, of course, or I wouldn't keep doing it, but this isn't how I game normally. And I've actually heard that a lot of streamers end up in a similar position where you get into other hobbies in your main life, because, like, imagine if I shut off stream in an hour and then I just keep playing Final Fantasy X. Like, wouldn't that be nuts? Now, there are some streamers that I know that will do that. I remember watching some Overwatch streamers a couple years ago that would play Overwatch for like 4 hours, 5 hours on stream, and then proceed to play more Overwatch off stream. I just couldn't do it. At least not now. Nice. Way to go, Bahamut. I love his imposing crossed arm pose. Thanks for coming by, Pyro. Have a good rest of your day. The Devastator. Wonder what that'll be. A save point, that's awesome. The other thing too I found when I stream is that I'm not like completely connected and engrossed in whatever I'm doing. I think that's also to be expected, but it's a little bit kind of a more extreme thing than it would be. Like, I don't know. When I play video games, I do like to have like a video in the background just to hear somebody talking, I guess. But it doesn't normally take a lot of my attention, and during especially intense moments, let's say like a cutscene or a boss fight, I'll just turn it off and focus completely. So having like, you know, the stream of consciousness that you're kind of meant to be pulling from for stream, it's a totally different affair, in my opinion. Oh, that heals him. Okay, choosing a fruit was a good choice. Nice. But I found it to be a pretty enjoyable hobby, side thing to do. Especially because I don't know. There's some. So I've always thought that there's not a lot of language that I know around this idea, but every hobby has like intervals, right? It has intervals. You're spending time, you're inputting time and other things, resources like money or things that you can get with money, and then you have some sort of output, and it comes out in regular intervals too. So I have found that I've always been the most attracted to hobbies with relatively quick intervals. So if you compare something like origami, right? You take a piece of paper, you look up how to make an origami. Realistically, with some amount of effort, at least for me, it would only take... I'll be generous. It only took me like an hour, hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours to learn a single new origami technique. So, your input is 2 hours of time, just a piece of paper, and your output is a little crane or a bird or whatever. But, you know, I'm going to pause real quick because I like this idea that I'm talking about. So, having such a quick interval of just a couple hours at most, that means that you can see your improvement very, very quickly. Like, getting to your 20th crane or whatever is quick. And I've found myself always to be more attracted to hobbies with those quick intervals where you can see the feedback really quickly. I don't know that this hobby is one that has a quick interval because I tend to see it on the scale of days, like because I stream once every 2 days or so on average. But it's still enough of an interval that I don't know, I finish streaming and then I have ideas about how to improve it for the next time. Like last stream, I added a bunch of filters to my microphone so I'd sound a little bit better. I added the chat that you see in the top left. And as soon as I completed that, I thought of things that I could do better, right? I want to get a pop filter for my microphone. I kind of want a nicer microphone because it's just a little traveling podcast microphone. And I also want like a little border for my chat window. Like that would be cool. And I think that ends up being like what's made me stick to this hobby so far is the idea that I do a stream. I end up with a lot of ideas by the end of the stream of ways to make it better, especially because there are so many people out there that do this professionally or do this at a level that I'd like to do it at. And yeah, I just end up with like this big old long list of things I want to make better. It's the hobbies that don't let me see much improvement, or I guess I see improvement, but I don't see a quick way to get there. It's almost like the idea of chopping something up into smaller goals so that it's easier to deal with, so that it's easier to see that growth in those smaller intervals. Like, imagine if it took you 30 days to get better at making a crane. Like, that would be so difficult to stick with because it's taking so long to see the next product. And a lot of the times, I think the things that we are most impressed by people to being good at, it's things with these long intervals that require quite a lot of dedication and devotion. Like a song, for example. Let's say you pick up a guitar and you try to play guitar, or you try to play piano. A song is a coordinated series of notes and chords for those instruments in particular. And we think of a song as one interval for it. And normally it's about 2 to 6 minutes, like somewhere in there, of uninterrupted music. But like when you think of it from the intervals of somebody who's learning a new song, it is so much information. Even your basic 4-chord song is still requiring you to learn 4 chords. And that's a lot for a beginner. So the only way to really trump that like wall that you have in front of you for improving at whatever instrument you've chosen is to chop it down and celebrate victories along the way. I think that a lot of folks, we're going to prevent ourselves from seeing and counting a victory for ourselves until we've got that first song. I think that was the hurdle for me anyway. And, or maybe your first guitar solo, or the first time you can play in front of somebody. Like those are big, big goals for people, but you end up getting stopped along the way because the reality is learning to play one chord is worth celebrating. Learning to play two or three or swap between them is worth celebrating. And so if you only celebrate those big milestones, those big intervals for any hobby, it's going to be very difficult to want to stick to it. So I don't know. You kind of got to celebrate every single little bit on the way. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to stick to much of anything. Exactly. Any getting to play any little bit of an instrument is a small win.
Another Guado fiend?
Playing in front of others, that's a bigger one.
No.
Finishing a song, that's a bigger one too. But it takes time to get there. Whoa. It's a good emotional outlet as well. Totally agreed.
It is. It's you, is it not, Lady Ginham?
I'm gonna guess Lulu was a guardian of hers.
Forgive me. I was too young.
Lulu's still only like 23 in this game, or 22. Though I guess in an anime world, that's almost getting to hag status, so... Oh, whoa! Protect your eyeballs, sorry.
There is no human left in you now, is there?
Princess Leia's pissed, that's funny.
Very well then.
Whoa.
Allow me to perform my last duty to you. My last as your guardian.
I guess we're gonna send her. Send her packing. Wow. Is this Three Sisters? Oh, it's Yojimbo. Wow. That was cool. Yojimbo. My younger brother's a Yojimbo. It feels fitting to summon him. But it also feels fitting to let Lulu kind of dunk on it. Yo, you go to the gym, bro? Exactly. I actually go to the gym maybe twice a week. I haven't been recently, but I should probably put it on my schedule for maybe Thursday. It's good to do resistance training. Muscle's important for your metabolism. The more you have of it, the quicker metabolism you have, so the more you can consume. And vice versa, or I guess conversely, the more muscle you have, the easier it is to maintain your weight for that reason. Of course, there's plenty of other reasons to go to the gym. It's a cute little lion guy. I also, I went through a leg injury earlier this year. So, I wouldn't say that I'm done with physical therapy. So I'm not, still completely recovering, but it's enough that I try to go so I can, kind of keep up with it and get it back to where it was. Yeah, not fun. I mean, that's one way to put it, that's for sure. It was a big lesson. And when I fell, man, I just would have never guessed that this would have been such a big injury, but I did have to get, surgery for it. That being said, though, I had a lot of help from friends and from family, and it made it, bearable. I learned a lot. I think the biggest thing I learned was you gotta take your health seriously. If you notice, especially when I talk about food, I'm always talking about macros. It's just because That's how I think about food now. I think of it as both something delicious and awesome, but it's also a resource, and you have to eat the right kinds to make sure that you're at a healthy level for all of your things. And learned a lot of patience too, I think. I think the biggest thing that helped me though was my physical therapist was very much my physical therapist and my doctor and everyone around me was giving me very good advice about how to kind of keep my goals in mind. And this sort of wraps back to what I was talking about with instruments. Like, if your goal is lofty and difficult to achieve, you're going to kind of measure yourself against something that's not fair to you. Like, my goal was never to leave the next day and start walking. To be honest, my goals I set really low. I was like, I just want to be able to go to concerts again. I want to be able to go to conventions and walk for like 8 hours a day and be okay doing that alone without the need of a walker or something. And that was my end goal. But the first couple goals were just, get around without a crutch, get up and down stairs. I was so afraid of going up and down the stairs at first. I thought that would be a bad time. Kozuka, what's this about? Whoa, he is so cool, but also he is tearing me a new one. So yeah, I guess that's how it started at first. And then, of course, they also give you small goals like... He's roninning it up. He is. He's so intricate. I love his colors, too. Your buddy shattered his pelvis due to misjudging a fall. It's insane how fast our bodies can recover. Totally. Totally agreed. It really goes by far quicker than you would expect. It never goes by as quick as anyone wants it to. Everybody wants it done yesterday. But when you think about like what you're putting your body through, it's incredible. I can walk around just fine right now. And I'll be honest, my going up and down the stairs, it's not perfect. Still some room for improvement, let's say there. But I don't know. It's night and day to where it was like when I had just fallen. There we go. I hope your buddy's okay now. Whoops, I should have probably revived. No, that's fine. Look at Yuna now. This guy's so cute. This music is awesome too. Very somber. He's stable. That's good. Has to be a retirement home for a minute, though. Just to get the support he needs, I suppose. Just to recover, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's hard stuff to go through. But I think that you do come out the other side, ideally having learned a lot about yourself. I would say that, like I said, that it's caused me to take my health a lot more seriously, and it's why I go out to walk 5 miles a day now. Be careful with this overdrive. Okay, well, we managed to clip him right through it. I think it might have been the Wazakashi, right? He did use it once, and it was like 1700, but we lived.
I thought it would be sadder somehow. Maybe I've gotten used to farewells.
Oh, Lulu. No, I wasn't. Okay, good. Then we just dodged it, I guess.
Waka, I hope you're right.
She could use a hug.
Yuna, the faith is inside. Go do what you came to do.
I bet we're gonna get Yojimbo next. Whoa. Oh, it's just like a map. It's just telling us where to go. Oh, it's like a teleporter spot. Okay. It's an instant kill even with auto life on. Wow. That means we're gonna get that eventually. The sort of like folklore and like the look of all of the spirits and stuff is so unique in this game. She speaks in an island voice, but not exactly the stereotypical accent. Yeah, she's got a mesmerizing voice, I think, Lulu. She's like so unique. She's sort of voodoo. Yeah, I can kind of see that. You get the sense of like a fortune teller or a medium with her. That hushed whisper.
Of vengeance. They dare only whisper my name. Yojimbo.
Yo.
Summoner, I ask you, what do you want of me? If you desire my strength, you must pay my price.
Yeah, look at that cute dog. 300,000 gil? Seriously? Oh, the auto mod looks like it caught your thing. But yeah, I don't think that's what you meant to type. Probably meant to say how. That's not a way for me. Yeah. Oh, chill. Okay, here we go. I don't have 300,000 gil. It's taken me this long just to get 100,000. I'll offer you half of your asking price.
You expect a phoenix, yet you offer chicken feed.
Well, what do you want me to do?
No deal. Maybe next time.
I added a permitted term hoe? Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Am I just gonna have to like save up and scrounge up all my cash to get him? Oh goodness. I think there was like a save point around this corner, wasn't there? Oh gosh. Oh, this depends on how strong he is. It is important. I've heard that he's super strong. I would kind of like to just leave this encounter. I suppose Titus has the flee ability, so maybe we just swap Titus dip.
Come out and fight like a man.
That's funny. Laters. I just want to get to the save point. And then we'll look for somebody to raid into. See ya. Is there any condition where, like, we would be trapped? I kind of figured there might be, but... Oh, one of these guys again. You have a lot less health, though. Oh, because you're not the X, you're just Defender. Whatever. See ya. Ugh, Titus, I love you. I might have just taken the long way around for the save point. Ronces are sort of Vikings, Aron is Shinto or ethical nihilism, Lulu's voodoo, Guados are druids, Riku is New Age. I could see that, yeah. Especially with how much technology the Al Bhed use. It's interesting too, though, because it feels like visually they're all pulling from pretty distinct places. I might be wrong, but... Well... I see the Al Bhed, and I think that they have something almost Middle Eastern about them. I mean, the visually and how they dress, and also, like, their language. Just unique. Yeah, yeah. But, like, Lulu, she also feels kind of goth, too? Like, the amount of black, all the belts. Oron looks like a wandering samurai to me as well. Waka looks like an islander bro. Yuna looks like a shrine maiden, like a Japanese shrine maiden, but just really colorful. Voodoo because it's evil. Yeah, I'm sure some people think that, right? But or at least that's a popularly held belief. But well, her dancing is a reference to Kali in Hinduism and for Yuna. Wow, that would make sense too. That is such a big aspect of her too. Come to think of it. Okay, all right, we're kind of winding down to the end of the stream here. Thank you very much for joining me, though. Let's see who we're gonna raid into. I like to raid into VTubers or people who are playing the same game as me. Ideally, we'd find somebody who's both, but oh, Lieutenant Eddie, he's funny. My annual playthrough of FFX Part 4. Here's a VTuber doing Final Fantasy X. Oh, wow, she's been at this for 10 hours. Lumi is been at it for 25. Holy cow. Some people stream for so long. Wow, I think I'll just pick the VTuber. Where are you? There you are. Alrighty, we'll get starting on the raid. Thank you again. Oh, can't raid him. Never mind. I've actually seen some. I've been surprised by how many people seem to not want to get raids. Like they put a size limit on it. I don't know why. I guess it's kind of distracting, but why not? You know. Oh. Somebody doing a speed run. 11 hours is a long time for a speed run, I think. There's a pigeon VTuber, a Japanese pigeon VTuber who's doing this game too. I mean, I don't mind doing Eddie, but isn't he, like, is he too big? Would he let me raid him? I wonder. Oh my gosh, it let me raid him. That's really cool. Oh, he's cool. Okay, well, anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day, evening, whatever it may be. And make sure to take your time, because heaven waits for you.